Back out. Put the charge up. Put it up.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're examining the dramatic downfall of Danny Masterson, the former star of That 70s Show, and explaining why he's named. Masterson maintained his innocence, but after a lengthy legal process, including a mistrial and retrial, a Los Angeles jury found him guilty on 2 of the 3 charges in May 2023. The third count ended in a mistrial and was later dismissed. At to life sentences, totaling 30 years. The Las Vegas Strip glitters with the promise of fortune. But behind one storefront's familiar facade, a darkness lurked that no television camera ever captured. Rick Harrison, the charismatic, knowledge-filled businessman viewers welcomed into their homes weekly through Pawn Stars, built an empire on history, authenticity, and trust. The journey began far from the glitz of Las Vegas and Lexington, North Carolina, where he was born on March 22, 1965. His early life was shaped by challenge, particularly his battle with childhood epilepsy. Confined to bed during severe episodes, young Rick knowledge that would later become his trademark. The pages of history books became his escape, an ironic foundation for a man whose own history would eventually become a cautionary tale. The Harrison family relocated to Las Vegas in 1981, seeking opportunity in the desert oasis. By 1989, Rick and his father had established Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, laying the groundwork for what would become a landmark business. What began as a modest pawn operation gradually transformed into something extraordinary, especially when television producers recognized the entertainment value in the historical items passing through their doors. In 2009, Pawn Stars premiered, catapulting Rick Harrison into living rooms across America. Viewers were captivated by his extensive knowledge, business acumen, and the seemingly authentic family dynamic at the shop. The show's success was astronomical, turning Harrison into a household name synonymous with historical expertise and honest dealing. The irony of this perception wouldn't become apparent until years later. Each episode featured Harrison explaining the historical significance of items, often rejecting counterfeits with an expert eye. A man who could spot a fake, but had become the ultimate impostor himself. The pawn shop became a tourist destination, and Harrison expanded his empire to include merchandising, books, and personal appearances. To the public, he epitomized the American dream, a self-educated man who built success through hard work, knowledge, and determination. The first cracks in Harrison's carefully constructed facade appeared when financial investigators noticed irregularities in activities. The FBI launched an investigation initially focused on potential financial crimes, tax evasion, money laundering, illegal transactions. Agents expected to find documentation of financial wrongdoing. In Harrison's study, the investigation took a disturbing turn. Inside the hidden space, investigators found meticulously organized records documenting connections to organized crime figures, black market transactions involving illegally obtained historical artifacts, and evidence linking Harrison to an underground network of criminal activities. The documents revealed a disturbing truth. Many items featured on Pawn Stars had been obtained through illegal channels, their provenance falsified for television. The shop that had built its reputation on authenticity was tracked at antiquities trade. Others had threatened to expose aspects of Harrison's operation. The systematic nature of the concealment suggested a calculated, long-term operation rather than crimes of passion. The man who had built an empire on historical knowledge had been meticulously erasing his own dark history, one victim at a time. When news of the discoveries broke, the public reaction was one of could the affable businessman who shared historical facts with such enthusiasm be connected to such heinous crimes? Former fans wrestled with cognitive dissonance as they reconciled the Rick Harrison they thought they knew with the emerging portrait of a calculating criminal. The television network immediately canceled Pawn Stars, distancing themselves from Harrison and the tainted legacy of what had been their flagship program. Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, once a tourist destination, became a macabre curiosity as foot traffic to nearby businesses plummeted. Las Vegas tourism officials scrambled to minimize the impact of the scandal on the city's image. The repercussions extended beyond Harrison himself to those closest to him. His son, Corey, who had featured prominently on the show, maintained complete ignorance of his father's criminal activities. As investigators dug deeper, they found no evidence linking Corey to the crimes, supporting his claims of innocence. Nevertheless, the younger Harrison found himself entangled in the fallout, his own reputation forever linked to his father's actions. The shop's other familiar face, Austin Chumley Russell, expressed shock when interviewed, claiming he had never suspected the dark currents flowing beneath the surface of the business. While investigators found no direct connection between Russell and the most serious crimes, they did uncover evidences. The affable comic relief of Pawn Stars found himself facing minor charges related to failure to report suspicious activities. The Harrison family was shattered by the revelations. Rick's ex-wives came forward with stories of controlling behavior and mysterious absences that, in retrospect, aligned with the timeline of disappearances now attributed to him. Family members described compartmentalization that seemed pathological. How Harrison could transition seamlessly from his criminal activities to family gatherings without showing any sign of the darkness within him. As the case moved to trial, prosecutors assembled overwhelming evidence linking Harrison directly to the murders and criminal enterprise. DNA evidence recovered from the hidden rooms, financial records documenting illegal transactions, and testimony from associates who had witnessed Harrison's darker side created an airtight case. Harrison's defense team attempted to argue that their client had been set up by jealous competitors or organized crime figures looking for a fall guy, but the evidence proving his direct involvement was insurmountable.